Do you feel an emotional obligation to follow through on your commitments, no matter how big or how small? Do you pride yourself on being trustworthy, loyal, diligent, and dependable? Have you met someone that you just know that if they're given a task, they're gonna get it done, no matter the obstacles or the inconvenience? That just might be the CliftonStrengths theme of responsibility. Well, welcome to the 1 Degree, where we give you the extra degree you need to help turn your potential into action at work, in your relationships, and in your personal life. On this episode, we're going to explore the Clifton Strengths Finder theme of responsibility. Whether you're an individual with responsibility or a leader wanting to empower your people to perform better, understanding how to turn this talent into a strength will help you be more engaged, more productive, and have a better quality of life. People who are especially talented in the responsibility theme take psychological ownership over anything they commit to. Depending on their talents, that could be relationships, tasks, vision, or values. Once they make a commitment, people with responsibility tell me that they are emotionally bound to follow through. Responsibility is an executing theme, but it is also highly relational. Their conscientiousness and dependability builds trust with others and can deepen relationships. Where another executing theme like achiever is driven to get it done, responsibility is driven to do the right thing. Responsibility is about the promise, following through on the commitments made to others, whether those commitments are stated or just assumed. Once they agree, their yes means yes. It might as well be a social contract tattooed to their forehead. Oftentimes, people with responsibility will have creative ways of sounding like they agree without actually saying yes. I've witnessed someone approach individuals with responsibility saying things like, "We should catch up and get coffee sometime." To which responsibility enthusiastically responds, "That's an idea." Because she didn't say yes, in her mind, there was no commitment to those plans. In fact, even faking a yes can be tough, if not impossible, for someone with responsibility. Someone who has developed their responsibility talent into a strength can be seen as a loyal friend, someone who's able to respond when needed, and someone who hits deadlines and can bring accountability to a team. These individuals epitomize the term servant's heart, and they get great joy and pleasure from being able to meet and exceed the expectations of others. At its worst, the raw and untamed individual with responsibility can take on too much, feeling overburdened and pressured by the expectation of others, then experiencing deep guilt if those expectations are not met, as they play the part of the martyr rather than the servant. Because their name is attached to each one of their commitments, these individuals might think they have to own everything themselves, and an unhealthy person with responsibility can be very distrustful or even resentful of others on the team. If you have responsibility as a talent, if you naturally think, feel, or behave this way, you can develop it into a strength by being able to consistently provide near-perfect performance by investing in and feeding your responsibility talent. Depending on your other talents, it might be hard for you to say no to certain projects or certain people. You have an innate ability to know what commitments you can follow through on, but just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. But don't worry about what you have to say no to right away. Just start learning how to say yes to the most important things that match up with your values. One thing you can do to gauge your emotional health is to ask yourself if what you're doing is bringing you joy and satisfaction to serve or making you feel anxious and guilty. In times where you feel guilty about not following through, just be honest about the source of this pressure. Is it someone else that's actually upset with you, or is this something that you're bringing on yourself? Either way, the best thing to do is apologize, restate your commitment and your values, whether it's to yourself or to the other person, and move on. Responsibility can be a very serious and focused talent, so find others who can help you lighten up and smile a little bit. Pairing with others who share your values and work ethic will help as well. As a coach or manager or coworker, you can build up the individuals with responsibility on your team by taking initiative to ask them for help. Depending on their other talents, it might be difficult for them to volunteer themselves without being asked first. Just remember to listen for that definitive yes. If you want them on board for a project, they have to say it. If they're resistant in accepting a task, it's probably because there are unknown variables that prevent them from confidently deciding whether or not they can follow through. Make sure you ask them what resources or information they need to make an informed decision. People with responsibility are usually keeping tabs on projects, values, and deadlines, and it can be especially helpful to give them time in meetings to give the team a rundown on previous commitments and agreements to see if those items are still important. Doing this can help provide focus for your team and help your teammates with responsibility to check off those mental commitments if the team has moved on. As a manager, help them prioritize commitments. Let them know that you realize they have their eyes on what the team said they would do, and Ask them how the team can support them so they see that you have your eyes on those values as well. Initiating communication will help reduce anxiety for the members of the team with responsibility. Check in with them and acknowledge that you still have your eyes on the deadline, especially if you don't have responsibility as a dominant theme. Responsibility defines themselves by their availability to live up to their commitments. A surefire way to reduce their engagement and productivity is to pair them up with apathetic teammates who don't. Do you have the Clifton strength of responsibility? Do you work with someone who does? What are some of the things that make them stand out? Let us know in the comments section. If you're interested in learning more about what makes you stand out, information about the Clifton Strengths assessment is available in the description. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. And if you're watching this on Facebook, head over to our YouTube channel for more resources just like this. My name is Eric, and this has been your 1 Degree for today.